Hey everybody, Ace Trainer Liam here and welcome to the latest episode of Form Fight. Form Fight is a series where we take a look at a Pokemon with more than one form, or a branched evolution, or a counterpart Pokemon like we're looking at today. We have a look at the differences between the Pokemon in question and try and work out which one is the best. And so we can see these Pokemon in action on the battlefield. We also have a metronome battle between those Pokemon just for a little bit of fun. If you're a fan of Form Fight and you're ready for more, make sure you hit the like button, show that you're enjoying the series, and if you're new here, hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. With all that out the way, let's take a look at today's challenges. Today we're going to be looking at two legendary counterpart Pokemon in the forms of Mew and Mewtwo. Now we all know in the lore of Pokemon, Mew was cloned to create Mewtwo, and that is why they're so closely related. And of course, in terms of where to find these Pokemon, Mew is normally an event-only Pokemon. Even in Emerald, when it was able to be caught, I believe that was an event-only triggered location. And as for Mewtwo, it's normally in Cerulean Cave in Kanto, or it can be found in other caves in other regions, and of course in Ultra Space. It's normally quite easy to find if it's included in the games. If not, again, it'll be given out as events. But what makes these two counterpart Pokemon so different? Let's take a look. According to the Pokedex, Mew stands at 0.4 meters tall and only weighs 4 kilograms. Its Pokedex data says Mew is said to possess the genetic composition of all Pokemon. It is capable of making itself invisible at will, so it entirely avoids notice even if it approaches people. As for Mewtwo, it stands at 2 meters tall and weighs 122 kilograms. Its Pokedex entry says Mewtwo is a Pokemon that was created by genetic manipulation. However, even though the scientific power of humans created this Pokemon's body, they failed to endow Mewtwo with a compassionate heart. Appearance-wise, both these Pokemon are somewhat humanoid feline creatures, with Mew being smaller and having bright pink fur, and Mewtwo having a white body with a purple tail. And that weird willy looking thing behind its neck that connects its head to its back, don't really know what that's supposed to be. In their shiny forms, Mew's pink fur switches to a bright blue, and Mewtwo's purple tail switches to lime green. Now let's have a look at the typing, weaknesses, and resistances of these Pokemon. Both Mew and Mewtwo are pure Psychic type Pokemon, which makes them both weak to Bug, Ghost, and Dark type attacks. They both resist Fighting type moves and Psychic type moves, and neither of them have any immunities. Now let's take a quick look at the stats and abilities of these Pokemon. Starting off, Mew is a versatile Pokemon given that all its stats are exactly the same, base 100 across the board, allowing you to build your Mew in whichever way you choose, especially since it can learn almost any move as long as there's a TM or a move tutor to teach it. Its only ability is Synchronize, which causes an opponent who burns, poisons, or paralyzes Mew to be inflicted with the same status condition, provided they can actually receive that status condition. For example, Mew's Synchronize can't poison a poison type. This is a great ability for making opponents' strategies backfire on themselves. Although granted, since this is Mew's only ability, opponents are going to be wise to that whenever they see a Mew, and they're going to know what its ability is, so they're going to avoid using those status-inducing moves on Mew. So you kind of have to catch people off guard, I guess. As for Mewtwo, it's slightly lacking in physical and special defense compared to Mew. However, it makes up for it with increased HP, physical attack, and speed, and a huge increase in special attack, making this a very powerful Pokemon indeed. Its primary ability is Pressure, which causes opponents to use more PP for each move that they use while Mewtwo is in battle. This can greatly affect an opponent's ability to utilize its strongest move, causing them to run out of chances to use these moves quicker than expected. Its hidden ability is Unnerve, which prevents opposing Pokemon from eating held berries. This will stop opponents from healing during key moments of battle with things like Figgy Berries, and it also prevents Pokemon from using berries to boost stats or to reduce damage from super effective moves. I personally prefer Pressure, but Unnerve is still a great ability. Now it's time for me to decide which of these two Pokemon I prefer, and I'm more of a Team Mewtwo kind of guy. Like, Mew is cute, I get that, and it's versatile, like I said, because you can literally arrange its stats any way you want, but Mewtwo to me is just cooler, it hits harder, it's faster. I don't really see the downside. It's got a higher base stat total in general. It's got two decent abilities to switch through, whereas Mew is super predictable, even though it is a good ability. And I just like the lore behind Mewtwo better. Like, Mew's lore is very much like, oh, it's not seen very often. It's rarely seen in the wild, and then testament to that is you rarely see Mew in the wild in Pokemon because it's normally handed to you by Game Freak, just like, hey, would you like Mew? And we never get the chance to actually catch Mew physically, so that kind of ruins it for me. Whereas Mewtwo is a Pokemon, you generally, whenever you encounter it, you have to fight it, you have to defeat it, you have to get it down to the point where you can catch it in your Ultra Balls, and you go and you go and you go and you go and you try, and you can waste loads of Ultra Balls because its catch rate is ridiculous, and it's just an overall much more rewarding experience to catch a Mewtwo than it is to receive a Mew. So I feel like I connect with Mewtwo a little bit more, and I like the lore behind Mewtwo in the sense that, you know, it's been created by humans and abused by humans, and it hates humans, and therefore it wants revenge. It's got quite good character development as a Pokemon, which is very rare for individual Pokemon in my opinion. So Mewtwo takes the win for me, but of course, it's not just up to me. It's up to you guys to decide which is your favorite. But before we do that, let's see these Pokemon in action. It's time for the Metronome battle, which doesn't determine which one is better than the other. It's just, let's see them doing some random moves, because it's kind of fun. Before we start the battle, I will point out these Pokemon have max IVs in all stats, 0 EVs in all stats. They're not holding any items. They've got neutral natures. They've got their hidden abilities, although Mew only has one ability, so it's got Synchronize. Mewtwo has Unnerve. But that's kind of good because it means the Metronome battle will go all the way through instead of Pressure ruining it. Trust me, watch Metromania. Pressure can be a right problem. Both these Pokemon are the same type, so the only advantage or disadvantage comes from their base stats. Everything else is all up to the Metronome. Let's go. Here we go, it's Mew versus Mewtwo, original versus clone. Let's find out who's going to win this form fight. Is it going to be blue Mew, or green Mewtwo, or pink Mew, or purple Mewtwo? Who knows? I don't know, you don't know. As the Unnerve comes out, no one's going to be able to eat berries, but no one's holding any berries, so that's not going to be a problem for the Mew team. Mewtwo is the faster of the two teams, so they are going to start off. Shiny Mewtwo goes for Venom Drench, but of course it fails. What an unfortunate first turn for Shiny Mewtwo. Here's regular Mewtwo firing back with a noble roar. Have fun with that, Mew team. And it's on the Shiny Mew, and it is going to drop the attack and the special attack of that Mew. So not a good start for the Mew team. They are starting on the back burner right now. Regular Mew is going to go for Tickle and lower some stats of its own on the Shiny Mewtwo there. It is going to drop the attack of that Shiny Mewtwo and the defense as well. So everybody's dropping stats this turn or failing. What's Shiny Mew going to do? Going to go for Tri Attack, actually going to hit an attack now. Goes and hits the regular Mewtwo for a little bit of chip damage there. That was the better start, I think. The Mew team actually had a better start than the Mewtwo team. Regular Mewtwo is going to put a stop to that, though, with a Fire Punch on the Shiny Mew with a critical hit to boot, but no burn, unfortunately. Here's the Shiny Mewtwo. What's it got in store? It's going to go for Guard Swap. Interesting play right there. Swapping, I believe, yeah, all changes to defense and special defense, so putting that defense drop on the regular Mew. That was a brilliant play, actually. And here's a splash coming out from Shiny Mew that is going to do absolutely nothing, but it looked beautiful, mate. 10 out of 10 splash, would splash again. Here's regular Mew, going to go for Magnitude. That is going to hit everybody on the field, though, so it's going to damage both Mewtwo and its partner. Magnitude 5, though, so it didn't do a great deal of damage there to anyone. Lucky for the Shiny Mew, to be honest. Here's Shiny Mewtwo. What's it got in store right now? It's going to go for Thunder, but it is going to be avoided. Got to watch the accuracy on that Thunder. Here's regular Mewtwo. It's using Metronome. It's ready with a Silver Wind. That is going to be super effective on that regular Mew there. That did a great deal of damage. Didn't get the Silver Wind boost, though, unfortunately, didn't that regular Mewtwo. Here's Shiny Mew going for Recover. Going to restore its HP back to maximum. That was a brilliant play there. Actual Mew strategy is being used right here. Here's regular Mew. What have you got for us? You're going to use Mega Drain. So it's going to take some of the HP from that Shiny Mewtwo and put it into its own HP bank right there, saving itself for just that little bit longer. Next up, we have the Mewtwo team starting things off with regular Mewtwo, and it's going to go for a Mind Reader because that's a great idea, isn't it, mate? So it took aim at Mew. It's going to make sure that its next attack does indeed hit. Depends what attack you're going to use, mate. Here's a Solar Beam, though, coming from Shiny Mewtwo. Sticking with the green theme, it will use Solar Beam on the next turn, then we know that's going to happen. Here's Shiny Mew, and it's going to go for Leech Seed. That's going to sap HP from that green Mewtwo each turn and put it back on that Shiny Mew. So that was a very smart play by Shiny Mew. As regular Mew follows up with a Thunder Shock. Is it going to get the paralysis on this, though? Because it's not going to do a great deal of damage, as we see. Didn't get the paralysis, and there we see the Leech Seed taking effect, sapping health from Shiny Mewtwo. Not putting on Shiny Mew, though, because Shiny Mew is still at full HP. And here comes regular Mewtwo. It's going to go for Aromatic Mist. Interesting play right there. Gonna raise that stat, gonna raise the special defense of the Shiny Mewtwo, I should say, who goes for the Solar Beam on the Shiny Mew. Great damage there. Almost half of the Shiny Mew's HP. How will it respond here? What's it going to do in retaliation? It's going to go for Water Pledge. That will do a little bit of chip damage there to that regular Mewtwo. That was a very good play by that Shiny Mew there. And here's regular Mew going for Trump Card. It does the tiniest little bit of chip damage there to that Shiny Mewtwo. And in fact, I think, yep, the Leech Seed is going to do more damage than the Trump Card. And it is going to restore some of the HP to that Shiny Mew, who looked to be in trouble there, but isn't in so much trouble anymore, thanks to the Leech Seed. Regular Mewtwo is going to go for Sweet Kiss on that Shiny Mew right there. Going to confuse it. It does hit as well. Will that confusion come into play? Let's have a look. I mean, the Mew will be able to move after this Mewtwo. Shiny Mewtwo is going to go for Circle Throw, which of course is going to be resisted by Mew, so it didn't do a great deal of damage there, but any damage is better than no damage. Shiny Mew is confused and hits itself. That confusion does come into play. That's not good for Team Mew right now. What will regular Mew do to follow up? It's going to go for Head Charge. Now then, this could be very detrimental. It did a great deal of damage, not as much as I would have thought, but there's the recoil damage as well on that regular Mew. Shiny Mew saps more HP with the Leech Seed from Shiny Mewtwo. It's not looking good for Shiny Mewtwo. It really needs to shake off that Leech Seed if it's going to survive this battle. What's it got in store though? What's it got in mind right now? It's going to go for High Horsepower. That is going to do a significant amount of damage, I'd say, to that Shiny Mew. Not a great deal, but a significant amount. Here's a Rock Smash. It is going to be resisted by regular Mewtwo onto Shiny Mew. Does it get the defense drop? It doesn't get the defense drop, unfortunately. What a waste of a Rock Smash. Here's regular Mew going for Recycle, but it has nothing to recycle. And here's the confused Shiny Mew. What's that going to do? Going to hit itself. It really can't get going thanks to this confusion. But there's more HP from the Shiny Mewtwo onto Shiny Mew. So Shiny Mew lives that little bit longer, goes back into the green. The Mewtwo team seems to have an advantage, but then its HP says otherwise. Luster Purge coming out from regular Mewtwo onto Shiny Mew, bringing it again back down to less than half its HP and getting the special defense drop there. Could that be the opening that the Mewtwo team needs? Here comes Shiny Mewtwo, and it's going to go for Boom Burst. That's going to hit everybody on the field, though. Oh my goodness, and takes everybody out. Oh my god. Shiny Mewtwo just won it for its team. Critical hit on regular Mew. Oh my goodness. And Shiny Mew goes down because of the special defense drop. And here is your winner. The Mewtwo team won it thanks to that beautiful Boom Burst at the end. Well done to Mewtwo. Talk about a comeback. So you've heard what I've got to say, you've seen these Pokemon on the battlefield, now it's time for you to make your decision. Which of these two Pokemon do you prefer? Is it Mew or is it Mewtwo? Let me know in the comments and explain to everybody why your pick is the absolute best. And of course, tune in next week for Form Fight because we're going to be doing Mega Mewtwo X versus Mega Mewtwo Y. Yeah, you thought I forgot about it. I didn't. But of course, that's where I'll wrap it up for this episode of Form Fight. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit like. If you're new, hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And of course, if you want to support the channel like these lovely people down here do, pledge to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/AceTrainerLiam. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.